Morning everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Vechain. But once again, thank you for your continued support across the board here, okay? Thank you for everything that you do, the contributions, sharing is caring, everything that you do to the channel and obviously to contribute towards the growth of the channel here. You can see that it's absolutely blowing up. And the reviews we get, especially on Vechain as well, it's all good, it's all positive. I hope you have a really good weekend, okay? So we're going to dive into Vechain. All expectations met. It's absolutely blasted for our price prediction, basically. It's in something called price discovery, and it's quite difficult to chart when it's like this, okay? I'm going to be truthful with you. It's very difficult to chart when something's going up parabolic like this. All you can do is sit back and enjoy the ride, basically, and try and kind of time the top and catch the top where you need to sort of exit sort of thing. At the moment, brilliant, beautiful. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out on a daily time frame, okay? Because what there's something called Elliott wave theory, okay? And if you study Elliott wave theory, basically markets are driven by human emotion, okay? And basically that's what it is. You know, at the end of the day, Vechain could have some amazing news and it pumps, or it could have some amazing news and it doesn't. It's constantly driven by human emotion, okay? And do remember that fact. So Elliott wave theory is based upon that, okay? The market reacts in motions and it works in waveforms, okay? So what we do, zoom out on the daily, and I'm going to show you a little theory right now using Elliott wave theory, okay? So it works in 5 waves, Elliott wave theory. So you can see since last year we had that corona dump, we've sort of gone up, okay? So what we're going to do, stretch this out a little bit like this. Bring this down. So we're looking at the daily time frame right now, and you can see that literally Vechain has gone up in sort of one wave there, a pullback, and another wave here, okay? So with Elliott wave theory, what you have, and I'll show you right now with Elliott wave theory, okay, you have from the base, you have one wave, okay, then you have a pullback, which is the second wave, then you have a third wave, which is the largest wave, okay? So let's say we're going up here somewhere, that's the third wave, and then you have a minor pullback, which is half the length of the wave 2 pullback, okay? So roughly something like that before you have a mega fifth wave, which is the third weakest wave, okay? So the first wave is the second strongest. The second wave pullback, okay, that's a relatively large pullback. As you can see, that was a large pullback. And the third wave is the largest wave, okay? And then you have a fourth wave, which is a pullback, which is usually around about half the length of the second pullback wave, okay? And then you have a final fifth wave before a blow off top, basically. So at the moment you can see, looking at that, since that huge correction there for the corona dump and Vechain's just marched on, you can see it's had one big wave, a second wave, which is the pullback wave, okay, and now it's experiencing the third wave. The trouble is, I could draw it like that and say that Vechain's blowing off here and it's pulling back, but you know, this could go up here. You don't quite know where this is, but once you see that blow off top, okay, once you see this blow off top, it doesn't mean it's the end of this particular move. And this is what I'm making a video for, just to highlight this for you, okay? It's part of Elliott wave theory, and all this, when this pullback does come, and believe me, it will come, okay? There's no avoiding the fact that it will come. When it comes, it will look bad, but it's just a pullback, like a springboard, to take you to that final last fifth wave. Now after that, after the fifth wave, that is a very large pullback. It's an ABC correction, okay? It says A, B, C, and usually it falls to round about where the fourth wave is. So basically, I'm just highlighting this particular Elliott wave theory right now for you, so you can just sort of get an idea of where the sort of trajectory is. You know, so if we're targeting, I'm targeting possibly a $1 plus, say around a conservative figure, around about $1.50 Vechain token, okay? So you'll have that wave 3 wherever it ends, okay? We can target that, right, and then we can target the pullback, and we'll see that it roughly be about 40-50% correction from that point when it pulls back, and then from that point there it will blast off into space again on the wave 5 towards the end of the bull run there, and then have an ABC correction before continuing. So that's basically Vechain. I just wanted to make you aware of that Elliott wave theory that we've got going on right now. So as soon as we do get this top and this blow off top, which to be honest with you, you know, it is looking likely that we are going to get that quite soon, because like I said to you in many videos, very overextended, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see Vechain going up and going parabolic, but do be aware it's going to hit a ceiling and roll back, have a fourth wave, which is a pullback wave, and then obviously a big move on the fifth wave there. So at the minute, what I want to say to you is that usually, okay, these waves, the second wave is quite a large, deep wave, and we are expecting a very similar wave on XRP. Well, I've already charted that in a previous video, so you can see roughly from there, you know, that pullback there was around 60%, okay, and then usually this wave 4, the pullback is usually around about half, if not a little bit more than the second wave of Elliott wave theory, which pulls back. And again, you know, if you've seen that and it pulls back, you think, oh no, it's the end of the bull market. I just want to reassure you that when this blow off top comes, and it will come, there will be better entries on Vechain, okay, than they are right now. And this is why I'm always transparent with you on this channel, okay. Potentially, say, I'm not saying it is, but say we've got the blow off top right now, but we are in alt season, okay, so this could just continue for a very long time. But as soon as we get that blow off top, okay, wherever it is, because obviously the wave 3 of Elliott wave theory is always the largest wave, okay, wherever that wave is, and we start to pull back, then we can target, say, a roughly 35 to 40% correction for Vechain, which would bring it back down to a level there. So let's say we are looking at this blow off top right now, because we have had a couple of days of a mad rally on Vechain, and you can start to see that just there, look, that the actual EMA is going vertical, okay, and that's always indicative of a sign. We've got some other signals as well that are saying that we're very overextended. You've got the MACD on the daily time frame here as well, look, that's going into the stratosphere. Also, you've got the RSI, look, the RSI is set up there, it's quite a high level just there. On the daily, it's pushing up towards 90, and you can see each time the RSI gets really high, what happens to it, okay. So there it got really high, rolls over and has that reset, and you know, potentially you're looking at the RSI as an indicator to say as soon as it gets high it's going to roll over. I still think there might be more legs in Vechain. I'm not saying this is the end of this run, but I'm just saying, you know, you've got to trade with caution, and you do expect that pullback and that rollback. I do think Vechain's going to the moon. I do think it's going to go up here towards $1 plus, because the Elliott wave theory is suggesting that, okay. So basically what I'm saying is just keep an eye on this, the RSI, okay, because you will see it sort of go up and then roll over and come back down into the purple box where it will reset, having that pull back on that wave 4, Elliott wave theory, before it pumps up to wave 5 towards the summer there, making that all-time high for Vechain. And I do think that once we get to that sort of wave there, you will see that sort of parabolic move up there that we're sort of getting now. So it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. I'm just making you aware of like Elliott wave theory, okay, and I don't specifically know where this run's going to end, but when we do, I would anticipate at least, you know, a 30 to 40% pullback right there. So say it did blow off right now and we've got that 40% pullback, you could be looking at sort of a 17-cent sort of Vechain token to jump back into. So that's Elliott wave theory just covered like that. So what I'm going to do now is get rid of that, and I'm going to jump into the 4-hourly chart, okay, and see what we can see. So just looking at a 4-hourly chart, then you can see we're getting a little bit overextended now. We've rolled over there, beautiful, and we've got that lovely kiss. Look, you see that we had that sort of slight correction yesterday. We almost wicked down to the 55, okay, but we've got bought up, and that's just how strong Vechain is. When you're looking at the RSI right now, okay, look at the RSI, it's rolled over, okay, hence why you're getting that rollover. So this is our all-time high for Vechain right now. We will keep an eye on that, and I'm not saying you're going to roll over here and come down, because we're in such a parabolic mania phase of this alt season right now. This could continue, and wherever it does blow over, then we can target that 4th wave pullback on the Elliott wave theory there. You can see it's potentially got a little bit more room to go up, to be honest with you. You could sort of it rolling over and coming back up to retest this high. So I don't presume that the 3rd wave is relatively over yet, just yet anyway, because you can see we're looking relatively healthy, to be fair. That you can see we're getting a nice little curl now in the EMA there. It's not so vertical. You do want to see that on the 4-hourly. The 4-hourly EMA there is always indicative of the blowover, okay, and you can see we've sort of peaked up, and there's been a bit of a sell-off, people taking profits, because obviously the people are going to take profits, okay. They're going to sell up here and buy back in down there. They're trying to force the retest of the EMA on the 4-hourly time frame there. So far so good. But if this is the blow off top, okay, not necessarily the blow off top of the 3rd wave, but if it is sort of a rollover and looking for a retest of the EMAs, then do expect to pull back to this 20 EMA, okay, on the 4-hourly time frame. And if it holds, brilliant, it will act as another fantastic entry point, just like these were here, just here, okay, in this huge wave here that we've got going on for Vechain. But all good, all the levels look relatively healthy, to be honest with you. You're sort of getting a little roll over there in the RSI, so you could potentially look at it coming back down into this purple box and coming back down towards a 60 level, just like this one did here, which would bring it down towards this yellow line. And again, if it holds, fantastic entry to have another go at the all-time high there. So the MACD is looking relatively healthy. You got the bullish cross just there on the MACD on the 4-hour, and you can see the histogram starting to turn a little bit, but you could see that picking back up actually after it sort of rolls over a little bit. So far so good. From that, if we was to get another big impulsive wave, then I can actually target that, okay, to give you a price prediction, because right now what you're doing, you're retracing, okay. So we'll have a look at the retracement, see how that's going on. So you go from the top to the bottom of the move, okay, and you can see what you're doing right there. You're sort of retracing off that previous swing low, okay. So because you've gone down, you made your base, and then you moved up an impulsive wave. You can see this is a very overextended impulsive wave, so it's looking for a bit of a correction and a bit of a rollback. So do target these areas, okay. You can see where the yellow line's sat at the moment. It's sat almost on the golden ratio, but as time goes on, obviously the yellow line is going to creep up as well. So if you do start to see a pullback on Vechain, we are in alt season, okay, and I do anticipate that the third wave will carry on for a little bit longer, hopefully. But this would be a fantastic area to put some bids in, okay, on the 0.5 at 0.21 if you see that correction and coming back, because I think by the time it does roll over and come back, if it does, I mean, look how strong it is. It's so strong, it's unbelievable. If it does roll back, then this is a fantastic area to get involved in, because I do think that the yellow line, the 20 EMA, will slowly creep up, and it will sort of look for the test off that. But again, like I've said to you in so many videos, the further it bounces, okay, and moves on, the stronger the trend. The stronger the trend, okay. So the trend is your friend, and you can't ignore that. And the trend is, it's to the upside at the moment. You've got showing no signs of rolling over or going to zero at the moment. And until that time comes, and you know when that time comes, because what you do, you roll over, you lose a 20, you lose a 55, and you start to roll over. You take these EMAs with you, okay, then you start losing them on the daily, and then you're looking for that larger correction just to reset some of the levels. But at the moment, no sign of that yet. The market's extremely bullish for continuation. So just always be wary though of the pullbacks, and the longer you go up here and sort of have a go at this as well, because that's another indicator, by the way. The longer you try and take out a high and it fails, the more you know the more the probability goes up of the rollover, because it's failing to take out resistance consistently. That's a signal within itself that you are going to sort of roll over, fall through the EMAs, fall through both EMAs and drag them over your shoulder, and then potentially create the bearish cross, especially on the 4 hour. That's why you target the 4 hour. If you look at the hour, it's in and out, bullish cross, bearish cross, in and out. It's very difficult. The 4 hour is a fantastic indicator, and then when you lose that, you zoom out, look at the daily. Then when you lose the daily, you zoom out and look at the weekly, and you start seeing where your last level of support is. And like I've said to you, the last level of support in a bull market is the weekly. As soon as you start losing the weekly EMAs and creating that bearish cross on the weekly EMAs, that's your sell and go to the beach signal, okay. So far so good. I do see a lot more continuation for Vechain, to be honest with you, but do keep an eye on this. If it stays in this sort of area, okay, and bounces off this 0.382, that's really strong, and you might see a little roll down and get some cheeky bids on at 0.21, which is 0.50 retracement. But what I'm going to do, like I did in yesterday's video, you know we're mega strong, so say we have bottomed out here, okay. It's not exact, okay, and it's not financial advice, but say we have gone up and we've rolled over and we found support on this 0.382, because you can see we've had a couple of wicks down there and we're sort of trading in and out at the moment. We're hitting our head on the 0.236 as resistance at the moment. But say we have fallen now and this is the bottom, and we're going to look at a new mega impulsive wave for Vechain. Let's have a look at a future price prediction then from this point. So what you do, obviously, you go from the base, which you think is your base, just there. Do you see that? And now what you're doing, you've come up into a swing high and you're forming a retracement, a swing low, and now you're starting to march on. So from that, you put that at the top of the move, just like that, and you could see that potentially Vechain could smash through the all-time high there, okay, and march on that 0.618, because again, it's such a strong uptrend. Always target the 1.618 extension there. So you could be looking at a 32 cents Vechain token if you do see the bounce here, okay. If you do see the bounce and it starts to creep on and it takes out this high, then do anticipate that Vechain will get to that particular target right there, okay, because we are in a bull market, and at the moment we're not seeing that second wave pullback at the moment, and that's a 38% trade from there. So insanely bullish, okay. You can't stop when you've got the train going in one direction. It's very difficult to stop it in motion. Again, just keep an eye on the RSI though, because I do think we've probably got one or two more legs up before we start getting really overextended on that RSI, especially on the daily time frame there, because you can see at the moment the RSI is a really good indicator, by the way. Do keep an eye on that, especially on the daily time frame. You can see that once you do sort of get up into that territory there, you know, you do roll over. There's only been one time that we've actually got above that, and that was in July of last year, and you could see what happened at that point. That was that wave 2 pullback that we experienced last year after that wave 1 on the daily time frame from the corona dump. So effectively, you know, you got that wave 1, the wave 2 pullback of the Elliott wave theory, and then we've gone up in this mega wave 3, and we are looking at the wave 4, which should theoretically come any point, you know, when we sort of get to this sort of target on the RSI there, which was this sort of level there, which is up at 90, 95, 97, sort of, yeah, 95. So you could look at that and say, well, that's sitting at sort of 89. You could go another 5 points, so to speak, on the RSI before you do get that pullback. But the MACD is looking insane. Look at that, it's looking insane. So just trade with caution, okay, and take profits where you can, because like I said, you will get that second wave pullback, okay, that fourth wave pullback, sorry, you will get that wave pullback, because it's part and parcel of human emotion and psychology of markets, okay, trading 101. So that's Vechain. Hope you enjoyed that video. Please do smash the like button for me, and once again, thank you for all your continued support across the channel here, okay, and everything you do to contribute towards the channel and the contribution of the growth there. It's growing really, really well, and the comments that I get and the feedback is superb, and it really keeps me ticking on. But again, like I say, I'll give you a couple of give you that trade there. If it breaks the all-time high, you're potentially looking at that new mega impulsive wave. But if it does roll back, obviously look for support off the EMA there, and a bounce for an entry point. If it gets that nice comeback, you see it's a little bit overextended. So if it does roll back now and loses those levels on the retracement and does retrace deeper, again, if it loses that 0.618, the golden ratio there, just to show clarification, if it does lose that particular level, then you would look in more a reversal wave and potentially start forming the fourth wave pullback on the Elliott wave theory there. So again, that's another signal, you know. So it's all signals. But so far so good. We're in a bull market and it's looking for continuation. But if you do roll over, you lose this 0.618, then that could be the start of that fourth wave that we're anticipating. Take care, everyone. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.